What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Plugin Police. I'm your host, Massive Water Bottle. It's a big water bottle. Today we will be reviewing UVI Mosaiq. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe. If we get to 1,000 likes in this video, I will review another plugin, and whatever comment has the most upvotes, that'll be the plugin I review. Don't make me regret this. I feel like you guys may make me regret this. I'm already kind of regretting it personally. It is labeled as the ultimate inspiration toolbox. Play chords, craft beats, create your music is what they say here. Normal price is $200. Bit expensive. Currently $100 until February 24th. So you have a couple weeks still. Sorry if I'm like moving a bit quick here. I'm trying to get to this quickly. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm trying to not lose your interest. So they say it's innovative, an innovative approach. It's not innovative. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here, be 100% honest here. It is not innovative. They say innovative approach to modern music production. It's not innovative. This is exactly like Native Instruments Playbox. They are very similar, but there are some slight differences, mostly in the sounds, and there are some slight differences in the way it functions. Very slight though. It's not innovative at all. Okay, sorry to tell you guys, UVI, I don't know who told you this, but it's not innovative. Innovative means you're doing something different. A lot of people compare this to Output Arcade, and I will say it is not really like Arcade. Arcade more so focuses on sounds, whereas this focuses more on chords. Chords, obviously, arpeggios, stuff like that too. This also has drums in it, but generally this is more focused on chords, whereas Arcade doesn't really focus on like chords and chord progressions. I'm gonna be doing this a lot. We'll be doing this a lot throughout this review. You can refine it with advanced controls, interactive effects, It's not really advanced controls. They're really like overselling it here, in my opinion. Am I saying it's bad though? No, it's not bad at all. Far from bad. So it's definitely instant gratification. I will agree to that here. It's easy to use. Yes. Massively capable. Yes. Agreed. 180 plus ready to use chord progressions. I think you get the idea of what it is. Essentially, it's like kind of like a loop starter sort of thing. It also features drums. Let me show you guys how this works really quickly here, just so you have an idea of what the plugin even looks like. So you have your different sound packs here. You know, you have the kits, the drums, etc. Generally, I'm going to work with the instruments. It looks just like a preset machine, but you can actually change a lot about it. You can go in and change the actual chords, the chord sets. You can manipulate individual notes within the chords, as well as the sounds of each note within the chord. You can lock the key, the chords, etc., the FX chain. You can even randomize things. So you can lock, for instance, these things here, and then randomize the sound. To be honest, first choice there kind of sounded like shit. So far, my take on it is pretty hit or miss. As you can see there, the first thing I played, kind of shit. Second thing, not bad. So this thing is basically, you know, some people would say, oh, this is for beginners. I will say this, beginners will get the most out of this. Advanced people can still use it too, definitely if you're looking for some sort of inspiration. One thing that's really good about this is you can change the chords yourself. So if you click on one of the chords here, it opens up all the notes within it, and you can actually change the notes yourself. You can even edit the sounds yourself. There are a lot of sounds to use here. Everything from waveforms to samples, you know, whatever you want in between. You can also edit the sounds and the way they play together. You can create chords out of the sounds. As you can see here, you can change your notes, panning, tone, the sample. You can even lay together different samples on the same note, playing different notes. So you can create chords with different sounds triggered by the same note. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's what you can do. And you can also, you know, do some basic editing to the individual sounds, you know, whatever you know, just basic stuff like envelopes, modulation, humanization, equalizer. And then they have the motion section. Instead of just doing like a chord strum, you can do more of like a arpeggio. Now the FX section is pretty interesting because it allows you to get a lot more distance out of these individual sounds. It comes with 8 different sound packs. I have not sat down and tried every single sound in here, I will say that. So that does give you some hope that there is a variety of sounds in here. It does come with a decent amount. Let me take you through my process with this. So I accessed this through the UVI Sonic Pass, which I paid for myself. It is their monthly software ransom program. They did end up sending me an NFR license, believe it or not. I paid for it regardless. First thing to get out of the way, I know UVI sounds like some sort of piss infection, but it is not. They are a pretty high quality software company, in my opinion. Now, what kind of value does a plugin like UVI Mosaiq have to me? The most valuable thing of these two plugins are the general sounds. So if if they're doing their job right, the sounds will be high quality and interesting. The second thing is going to be the chords. Not just the chords in succession, the way they have them lined up, just the general quality of the chords. Are they interesting chords? Do they play well together? The way I generally use a plugin like this is I don't just play the chords they have laid out for me. I will play them out of order and then find what sounds good to me from that. And I feel like that's the most creative way to play with a plugin like this. You don't have to follow exactly what they handed to you, but you can take what they handed to you and kind of mold it into something else. And you can do it pretty quickly too. A lot of people compare this to Arcade, and I think if you're comparing this to Arcade, you haven't used this or Arcade. Arcade hands you a bunch of loops with less control over individual notes within a chord. That is, if it happens to play a chord. One good thing about Arcade though is it has actual licks, whereas this is mainly chords. So like I said, they are a bit different. Now, if Arcade could add functionality like this, that's more in the direction of this, I think Arcade would be even better than it already is. So essentially what you're looking for with this is good chords and good sounds. And the FX is just like a cherry on top, in my opinion. Effects in particular, you can find much better effects in other places. Obviously, I don't even need to ask the question. They are going to add more sounds down the road. It's kind of like a DLC. They're going to add the DLC. And basically, they're going to do this because they're trying to get more people to use it. They're trying to get people to use it for longer. And obviously, you're going to have to pay money for it. Sorry to say that. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to charge you money for it. Otherwise, it's not worth their time. Are the genre labels sufficient of the sounds? It's hard to say because for the most part, they don't mention genres. The hyperpop bass, lacking, for sure. Lacking. The melodic sounds, fine. Drum sounds, fine. Overall, I wouldn't use this for drums myself in particular, but I actually was kind of digging some of the drums. Some of them. For some reason, the hi-hats in these sort of plugins are never the kind of thing I'm looking for. Maybe I'm just looking for like trap hi-hats, and these are, a little more, I don't know, so they don't really like hit the same way. But overall, I kind of enjoy the drum sounds too, but I would not let it completely replace what I'm working on, maybe for like a little perk here and there and whatnot. Now, is it worth the money? Definitely depends on your music workflow and your skill level. I would say for a beginner, this is probably going to be much more valuable than it would be to an advanced producer. At the normal price of $200, it's kind of hard to justify that for anyone, in my opinion. The intro sale price of $100 is a lot more reasonable. $200 for this is cuckoo, batshit, bananas, insane, in my opinion. I don't care if you're the worst, most uninspired music producer on the planet. $200 is too much. Now, if you're a beginner using this, there are some issues with that, in my opinion. If you're a beginner using this, you are not going to be learning. You're not going to be learning. You're just not going to be learning. I don't know how else to really say it. There are ways for you to learn while using this though. You can actually look at the notes within the chords. You can look at the names of the chords within the chord progressions that you are playing. I shouldn't even say chord progressions because they're actually just chords triggered by each note. And then you kind of create the progression you want to out of it. So you can go in and look at the notes if you're really curious about what's happening. It's very much like training wheels, but even if you're advanced, sometimes training wheels are kind of nice. Working hard is not always working smart. I don't think that's the saying. Can you change the chords manually? Yes, you can change the chords manually. You can also create your own chords. Now, if you had to buy this or Playbox, okay, woo. I find it very interesting that they call this innovative. Meanwhile, Playbox costs the exact same price. First of all, Native Instruments, you need to lower the price on this. $200 is batshit cuckoo insane, $100 totally justified in my opinion for either of these plugins. $200, hell no. Now, there are some things I like about the UI of each. I do like this little weird thing they have going on with the cubes here in Playbox. It's very interesting. You got the little fuzzy cube, you got the spiky cube, you got the little amorphous cube. Whereas this one, it's not trying to be as cryptic. I've enjoyed a few of the beats I made with this. I tried to do something with the hyperpop one. That was the first thing I attempted, and I tried to use everything from within the plugin, like not outsourcing anything else, like not getting bass or drums from anywhere else. I was not as into it. I don't know if that's the plugin's fault as much as it is me just not being creative with it. It's hard to say. But when, on my second and third tries with this, definitely enjoyed what I made a lot more. Do I recommend this plugin to people? Sure, yeah, I would recommend it for $100. $200, fuck no. And it's not even because of the quality of it or whatnot, but I just feel like it's hard to justify any plugin at $200. That's crazy. Like, unless it's something you're gonna be using every day and it's not gonna be, you know, all used up and dried with crusties on it within a year. Because while this is a good plugin, I don't see it lasting very long, you know? At a certain point, you're gonna use everything in here and it's gonna be a toy you don't play with anymore. Unless they're constantly releasing new shit for it, at a certain point, you're gonna get tired of this. It's kind of like candy. It's great when you first do it, but the more you have it, the more, you know, you start to see the side effects. Or it's kind of like drugs even, you know? The first is great, and then the more you do it, you start to see the side effects. And then you're like, hey, you know what? I should probably stop using this. You know, I feel like I've seen everything I need to see with this. It's not super great. I just don't see this being something that's gonna be worth it in the long term. But it's gonna be great maybe for the first year or so. If you're making beats every day, maybe even less than that. But hey, if you're getting placements, if you are at least selling leases, it'll pay for itself within a few beats. In my opinion, maybe even one beat, depending on your prices. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this plugin down below. And let me know what plugin I should review next. Like I said, the one with the most upvotes will be the plugin I review next. Preferably a new plugin. Honestly, if it's a really old plugin that's not going to get views, I'm probably not going to do it. Make a good choice, guys. Don't pick something stupid and make me regret this. I feel like I'm already regretting it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. I'll see you guys next time.